Welcome to the FanDuel Punch Out. I'm Jason Gilbo, J Gilbo 11. With me is Russell Clay at Russell J Clay. Taking a look at tonight's FanDuel slate, 11 games, and not a lot of exciting pitching options, but I think there are some that are good enough to where it's kind of an average night on both sides.
Yeah, pretty mediocre. There are some good pitchers. Obviously, excited to see Pomeranz in his third start with the Red Sox. But other than that, kind of mediocre. But hey, you know what? That's why we play the game, for the mediocrity, right?
White Sox and Twins. First one here, Miguel Gonzalez versus Tommy Malone. I like this game for offense. I don't mind the park factors out there, much better in the summertime. I think there's some interesting plays on both sides. I mean, obviously, I think against Tommy Malone, you can take a look at some of the right-handers. Todd Frazier scratched from the lineup last night. If he was in tonight, I don't mind him as a GPP play, but I like Tim Anderson at 2.9.
I really like Tim Anderson at 2.9. He seems to be the constant value in that lineup. You really like that price. And I mean, gosh, Jose Abreu.
Hit lefties.
2,600. I'm just chilling there looking at it. I'm not going to do it, but I'm looking at it. But no, Tim Anderson's the guy I'm really taking away from that lineup.
Yeah, I am too. I think he's been consistent against lefties. I mean, free swinger. I mean, he's not going to walk and get on base. He's going to get on base via hit, but I like him quite a bit. Would be curious to see how this lineup kind of shakes out without Todd Frazier, because that back end just does look awful without him.
It really does, doesn't it?
So I mean, for me, not that it's so bad where I'm using Tommy Malone, but it's just like, ugh, I'll take two guys and move on, and that's it here, you know.
Yeah. I mean, they really need Todd Frazier to average out the mediocrity back there. But yeah, the front of the lineup obviously keeps Malone out of tournament play, but not much to look at here, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. And on the other side, I'm intrigued with some of the lefties like Kepler here. I don't mind him at his price.
Your boy Vargas at 28, batting fourth.
You know, if you just let me get to him, I would have said him.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Kenneth Vargas, 2,800. I do like him in tournaments, and both are tournament guys for me. Mm-hmm. I still don't even mind a Sano. Obviously, it's a little bit pricey, but I don't mind that kind of 3-4-5 setup there against Gonzalez, who's home run prone.
I'm definitely with you on that. I like the 3-4-5, especially the 4-5. I think that's a great value. And I mean, hey, you could do the 4-5 there and Tim Anderson, and I think that's a really good start to a lineup.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would not be against the kind of a game stack here to kind of be contrarian in tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
A's and Indians next. Josh Tomlin versus Dylan Overton. And looking at this Indian side, obviously Davis is going to sneak up to the top of the lineup. 4,100 expensive, but I think you can pay that off. I do like him. I like Lindor, and I love Napoli at that price as well.
Yeah, you have to like Napoli batting fourth. Obviously, the huge power numbers this year against lefties. You really like that. Yeah, I mean, under 4K, give that to me. Give that to me.
Yeah, and I don't even mind some of those back end guys. I mean, you know, I don't mind a Jose Ramirez if you want to take a shot. Obviously, you're not getting quite the same value with Nyquist and Chisenhall when there's lefties on the hill, but still, I think you like this Cleveland offense.
Definitely.
So, as far as the A's go, I really like Chris Davis's price tag at 3K for some home run potential. You look at Tomlin, I mean, he gives up a ton of homers, 1.94 home runs per 9 to right-handers. I think you got to like Chris Davis at that 3K price tag. I mean, a lot of upside with him there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. As you mentioned, home run per 9 for Tomlin against righties is solid. I am a little hesitant with this A's lineup, especially in terms of stacking. But I do like the one-offs, like you mentioned. That's a good call.
Yeah, definitely.
Also Smolinski at 24 is pretty intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely some home run possibilities, you know, for this lineup. I mean, Josh Reddick at 2.7 has some power. Vogt, 2.6. So I don't mind it. I mean, Tomlin a little bit better against lefties, but still there's some home run potential there.
For sure.
So moving on to the next game here, you have the Astros and Tigers. I'm not really looking to pick on Verlander at those prices. If they were cheaper, maybe I think about it in GPPs. But for me, I'm just kind of leaning more so with the Tigers side here.
Yeah, not much to mess around with. Obviously, you like Springer, Altuve, and Correa, but I don't think this is a night to really use them.
I mean, I guess in a contrarian sense, if you wanted to go against the field, you know,
Yeah,
it's a
just
contrarian
hey, you
way.
know what? It worked against Jose Fernandez the other day, so you can do whatever you want now. Everyone's just running rampant all over the place, just doing whatever they want. Everything's happening now, Jason. No, the world doesn't make sense anymore.
It's just
I've
like that.
given up,
It's just like that
given up
thing
trying to
where
figure it out.
people are just running free, running wild, doing whatever they want,
Yeah,
like
there's no
chaos on
rules.
there. Yeah,
There's no rules.
society has just gone down because
Yeah,
of what happened to Jose Fernandez at home.
yeah.
So
There's just pure chaos out there now. So yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want.
I mean, it's the obvious names there. If you were looking to make a different market in GPPs,
Yeah,
it's the front four. I mean, that's what you're looking at.
and obviously, that group's higher upside than anything the other day. So yeah, I mean, that is a way to go in a tournament, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. And on the Tigers side here, I mean, I like a handful of these bats up top. I mean, I think obviously you got like Victor Martinez, catcher eligible. Um, they're at that price tag. I mean, that's 3.3 is a nice one, and same thing with Cabrera 3.4. These are kind of really average prices for Tigers offense that definitely
Yeah,
could get to fires.
I'm even going to give the righties a benefit of the doubt here. I like that Kinsler price. I like Cabrera. I like Martinez. I think that's a stackable group there for their price. I mean, obviously, if they were priced up more, say Kinsler was 4K, everyone was 400 more or something, I wouldn't be in. But I mean, these are solid prices.
Yeah, definitely. I like these quite a bit. So I think for me, I mean, I'm looking at the Tigers as kind of a top offense to target tonight, especially
Hmm.
coming off a night where they're probably going to be a little chalky just given that they put up, big runs last night. But I'm completely fine with it against Fires who struggled against right-handed bats.
Yeah, even some of the punts like a James McCann at 21, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Phillies and Braves, Jeremy Hellickson versus Julio Teheran, and I just feel like I don't want any part of this game as far as hitters go at all. I just think Hellickson's he's has been decent. I mean, quality right-hander. I guess you can look at the lefties against him just because
I,
Hellickson
I
has
like
struggled with
I
that.
like I like Jace Peterson at 31. But yeah, I mean I agree. Other than that, I'm not touching Freddie Freeman at 4. I don't think, and I just don't really see much else either.
Yeah, I think Pearson's a good value call there, leading off. I mean, I think if you are taking anyone, it'll be a lefty against Hellickson, and on the Philly side, I mean, I can't pick on Tehran at all.
No, I don't see that as a viable option. I think you just avoid that. Again, Odubel Herrera, you like him, but 38's still kind of expensive.
Yeah, not a price I'm looking against an Atlanta ace.
Right.
So Cardinals and Marlins, and I like some of these Marlins prices. I mean, Stanton a little expensive, but 3.8's not a bad against a guy who crushes lefties. And Marcell Ozuna, I mean, 3.3, he's the same way. I mean, I like that price tag as well.
I don't get him. I just don't get his pricing. So I mean, I'm definitely willing to fire away with Ozuna at 3.3. I like that quite a bit. I like Stanton. Um, but other than that, I'm probably not going too heavy on this Marlins lineup. I think you just do the Stanton Ozuna and then look elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm looking at. I mean, I'm not really looking at a Prado. I mean, obviously 2.9 is an intriguing price tag, but I'm not completely on it. I think it's just more kind of Stan Ozuna, those true high upside lefty mashers.
Right.
And as far as the Cardinal side, I mean, I like all these guys here. I like Diaz at that price. I like Piscotty at that price. Holiday Adams. I don't mind it. I don't feel like I need to dive down to a Greg Garcia tonight, just because it's not that type of
Oh,
slate. So for me,
oh, come
I don't
on,
mind those
man.
guys.
I actually don't mind a Greg Garcia at 2K. But yeah, beyond that, I think you're just looking at the Diaz Piscottis of the world and feeling pretty comfortable about it actually. So again, I think you look at this Cardinals lineup kind of similar to the Marlins, where you're looking at those two guys and then probably going elsewhere for everything else.
Yeah, definitely agree. Pirates and Brewers next year. Chase Anderson versus Jameson Taillon. I like the Pirates bats tonight, just because you look at Anderson. I mean, reverse splits guy, 367 WOBA to righties, 1.58 home runs per nine. It's in Miller Park, so obviously a big bump for these Pirates bats getting out of PNC. Obviously, if I'm taking a lefty, it'll be Gregory Polanco at 3.7. But obviously, I like Cutchin, I like Marte, I like Kang as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Love Polanco 30 at 37. That's a great price for him. Obviously like McCutcheon as well. I think you can do that 2 through 4 finally again, and maybe even a 2 through 5 with Jung Ho Kang chilling there with some power at the end there. I like that quite a bit. And I mean, I kind of went at the Padres yesterday. It didn't work out, but I think this is another positive matchup for them.
Yeah, I think so too. And overall, the Brewers side, I mean, that lineup is pretty weak.
I think you wait for lineup block to sort of really make any decisions about the Brewers, because like you mentioned, if Braun isn't in there, and then you don't know who's getting traded, so you know,
Yeah, it's a lot of mediocrity after Braun and Lucroy leave that lineup. I mean,
right?
I don't mind a Villar in GPPs. He'd probably be the only one I take a stab at.
Hmm.
So overall, I think the Brewers side is kind of a wash at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
Mets and Rockies next year, Bartolo Colon versus Jorge De La Rosa. And I like grabbing some bats in this one. I think those Rockies are at some intriguing prices. You know, when you get a Blackman and Cargo at 3.5 and 3.3, it's certainly intriguing. Arenado, Story, both in the 3.5 range. I don't mind taking a look in GPPs. They're not cashing guys for me just because they're so disappointing on the road. But we know there is some upside, I think, against Bartolo Colon. You can take a look and kind of go against Vegas and hope to get him at low ownership.
Agreed. Yeah. The prices for the lefties in the Rockies lineup are nice tonight. Cargo and Blackman. I mean, you guys know the rule against righties, but I mean that's normally at home. So get a reduced price here. Not the same type of upside, but at the same time, still the same hitters. You know.
Yeah, definitely. And on the Mets side, I mean, I'll take a look at a Wilmer Flores, a Neil Walker, Yoenis Cespedes. I don't mind those guys there.
Cespedes night.
It,
Calling
it
it. I think it's a Cespedes night.
I mean, I'm with you. I think at this price tag, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll definitely look him in. I mean, he's hammered lefties. I think that's a really nice price tag. I think a lot of the damage could come off his bat, as you stated with your Cespedes night.
Yes, I even like I'm even thinking about him on DK where he is 5K, so obviously that's a bit insane. But I do like him quite a bit tonight. I think that's a nice matchup to take advantage of.
Yeah, definitely. Royals and Rangers next year. Martin Perez versus Ian Kennedy, and I like this Royal side here. I think against lefties, the addition of Lorenzo Cain back into the lineup makes this stack a lot more appealing.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not in love with quite some of the price tags, but I definitely could see a Royals team going off down here in Texas against Perez.
Yeah, for sure. Just chipping away, as I said in the pitcher pod. I just see them chipping away. Maybe a homer here, a double there, and it's just going to get ugly. So I do think some of these prices are pretty intriguing. Kane's tough to stomach at 42. But I mean, if you want to do a Royal stack, I'm definitely not against that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm fine. I think in that ballpark, you look at Perez, I mean, since last year, 348 will allowed to righties. I mean, I don't know. I just think I like Cuthbert in that spot. I like Kane. I like Morales. I like
Hmm.
Perez. And I don't even mind some of those backing guys. I mean, we saw Paulo Orlando pay off against the last lefty, so I don't mind him either.
Yeah, I do like potentially stacking 3 righties in this lineup. I don't think you need to do Alcides Escobar tonight.
No.
I think you do more of the high end bats in this lineup.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you. And on the Rangers side, I'm in love with some of these prices, especially to start off the order. I mean, Profar and Mazzara, both very cheap. In Mazzara, 2,100. And you look at Kennedy, I mean, really struggles on the road, especially with the long ball. Lefties, I mean, 2.11 home runs per nine going back to last year, 350 WOBA.
Mm,
I like the lefties here in Texas quite a bit tonight.
100%. I think you go Profar Mazzara Odor and you just sign seal deliver that stack into one of your lineups. Are they cash game viable? I think the top two are. I actually think they all are, but I mean, it's just a high upside offense, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And I just think given park factors considered, it's definitely going to be pretty friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on to the next game here, Reds and Padres, Christian Frederick and Anthony DeSclafani. Um, Jumping into the Padres real quick, I still don't mind a Myers Kemp if you're looking to kind of be different at their prices. Schimpf, though, I mean, 2,200, I'll continue to kind of take that shot in GPPs.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? I mean, 2,200 for a guy that's been crushing this month. So, I do like that. Obviously, more tournament than anything else. But as you mentioned, Myers and Kemp, sure, just keep firing away, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. The way they continue to crush the ball, I mean, it's kind of hard avoiding at those prices. I mean, we've really seen them jump up over here of late. So this is kind of value in consideration of where they have been.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the Reds go, I mean, I don't mind some of the righties here. I don't even mind some of the lefties, just because they have had solid numbers against lefty matchups in the past. So I don't mind a Jay Bruce. I mean, he does have some strong ISO numbers against left-handers in his career. And as you stated, kind of on the pitcher pod, it could be a Cozart night. Um,
Yeah.
a nice mid price for him.
Yeah, not bad. And again, he's sort of the forgotten name in that lineup. He's all right, you know. He's not Votto, he's not Bruce, he's not Duvall, and he doesn't steal bases like Billy Hamilton. So it's like he just kind of gets shoved under the bed. But I do like him tonight. I think it's a good matchup for him. Beyond him, though, I mean, obviously Duvall has actually more power against righties, but I do think he's in play as well. 34.
Yep, definitely agree. So I think that game could be a nice one to get some one-off shots in.
Yeah.
Red Sox and Angels here, and looking at the Sox side, I mean, I love the Hanley price tag at 3.6.
Yeah.
I think it's a really solid price for him, and same thing with Bogarts at 3.7. Two quality guys against left-handers, and I think those two are looking to where I'm going to start my lineup, especially Hanley.
Yeah, I really like Hanley. I really like Bogarts again. I think that's pretty easy in terms of just kind of throwing them in and feeling pretty comfortable about their floors. And I mean, I think that 1 through 4 stack's definitely in play. I mean, Mookie Betts obviously a strong play, even though he's 4-4.
Yeah, definitely. And on the Angels side, I'm not really backing anyone here. I mean, obviously, Mike Trout would probably be the only honorable mention as always. I can't see myself kind of using this Angels offense against Palmerans.
No, definitely not.
So, moving on to the next game here, and Diamondbacks and Dodgers. And for me, I mean, I like a lot of the Diamondbacks prices quite a bit. I mean, Wellington Castillo at 2.5. You know what he does to lefties is tremendous. Same thing with Ricky Weeks. I mean, if he's in that spot again, 2,400. I mean, that's a great price, and even Goldie's not even that expensive.
So I guess if you were going to play Goldschmidt, would you team him with some of these mid 2K guys? Is that kind of your plan, or would you do a one off with Goldschmidt, or is it just if you're combining him with those lower price guys?
I definitely do a one-off, but I definitely do like the 3-4-5 stack against Casimir. I think it does have a lot of upside.
I think that'll definitely be contrarian. I don't think many people are going to be on that just because what Vegas is telling everyone. But that's definitely intriguing. I'm not as on that. But I do think obviously Goldschmidt, Weeks, and Castillo all reasonably priced for sure.
Yeah, I think so. And on the other side, I mean, I like these Dodgers prices a lot more here on FanDuel. And I do like the front five. I even don't mind a Yasmani Grandal at 3,100 against Shipley, who looked a little bit lost against the Brewers and making a start against the Dodgers who are heating up. I think you can treat this Dodgers offense as one of the better teams. And I think stacking and value-wise, they all kind of open up a lot.
Right.
So good night to kind of target out in these West Coast games. I mean, we're starting to get around to that time where, before it seemed like we kind of faded West Coast, but now we dive into it a little bit more.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, so it's starting to become a little easier.
Yeah. That's going to wrap things up here with the FanDuel Punch Out. Be sure to check out DaveFantasyCafe.com for our great tools and content.